Welcome back. Lincoln currency. In the world of numismatics, few coins are as universally recognized and collected as the Lincoln cent, struck for the first time in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The penny has gone through numerous changes over the decades. But one particular year has recently become the subject of widespread interest, speculation, and even viral headlines: the 1986 1-cent Lincoln penny. From standard circulated coins to rare mint-era varieties and outlandish claims of million-dollar valuations, the 1986 penny has found itself at the center of attention among collectors and investors alike. So what makes the 1986 Lincoln penny so fascinating? Is it the historical context? Is it a specific mint mark? A production error? Or could it really be worth up to $876 million, as some viral posts have claimed? In this video, we're going to dig deep into the facts, myths, and possibilities. We'll cover everything from minting processes to coin grading, market trends, and potential collector value. Let's start with the basics. The 1986 Lincoln cent was part of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design era, which spanned from 1959 until 2008. During this time, the reverse of the penny depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., replacing the earlier wheat stalks design. The obverse still featured the profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that remained largely unchanged since its inception. In 1986, 3 United States mints were involved in the production of the Lincoln penny: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S, for proof coins only. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 4.2 billion pennies that year. The Denver Mint added another 4.4 billion to the total count. The San Francisco Mint contributed nearly 3 million proof pennies. With numbers like these, the 1986 penny is not rare, at least not in general circulation. But as with many modern coins, the real value lies in condition, rarity of die varieties, and mint errors. Most 1986 pennies you come across in your change are going to be worth exactly 1 cent. However, under the right circumstances, they can be worth significantly more. One major factor that influences a coin's value is its condition or grade. Coins graded by services like PCGS or NGC can command high premiums if they are in pristine, mint state condition, particularly in grades MS67 or above. A 1986 penny in MS67 red, for example, has been known to sell for over $700 at auction. That might not sound like much compared to millions, but considering it's a 1-cent coin, that's a 70,000% increase in value. Then, we have to consider errors and varieties. Some of the most valuable coins ever sold owe their worth not to the intended design but to mistakes in the minting process. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, and missing letters are all types of errors that can make a coin more valuable. While no well-documented major error varieties exist for the 1986 penny, that doesn't mean they're impossible. Occasionally, coins slip through the cracks of the quality control system and enter circulation with rare and collectible defects. If you have a 1986 penny with noticeable doubling, a missing mint mark, or an off-center strike, it might be worth a closer look from a professional grader. One particularly fascinating rumor that has circulated online is that of the $876 million 1986 penny. Viral posts and clickbait headlines claim that a specific 1-cent coin from this year was sold or valued at nearly $1 billion. While this claim is enticing and sparks curiosity, there is no verifiable record or auction house listing to support this. It's possible the number was generated as part of a joke or as part of a fake news story designed to generate traffic. However, it illustrates an interesting phenomenon in the coin collecting world: the tendency for misinformation to spread rapidly, especially when fueled by greed, curiosity, or the dream of instant wealth. The actual highest auction price for a 1986 penny recorded in a reputable database, such as Heritage Auctions or the PCGS auction listings, is well below even $10,000. The most valuable known examples are nearly perfect proof or mint state coins with a red color designation, no visible wear, and flawless surfaces. These coins are rare, but they exist, and some have sold for hundreds or even a few $1,000s depending on the specific grading tier. Still, that's a far cry from nearly $1 billion. So why do these myths persist? It comes down to a mix of misunderstanding, sensationalism, and sometimes deliberate misinformation. When people read that a coin might be rare or valuable, they immediately begin to imagine what they might have lying around in jars or drawers. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's a healthy curiosity. But it's important to temper that enthusiasm with facts and context. The majority of 1986 pennies are not rare. They are not made of valuable metals, having been transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition starting in 1982. They are not scarce in circulation. That said, the 1986 Lincoln penny is a fascinating piece of American history, and it serves as a snapshot of an era. The year 1986 was a time of political and economic transition. Ronald Reagan was president. The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster shocked the world. Microsoft went public. The Cold War was winding down. Owning a coin from that year can feel like owning a piece of a complex, transformative moment in time. And that historical association has its own kind of value, beyond monetary worth. Collectors often seek 1986 pennies as part of complete date and mint mark sets. For new collectors, it's a perfect entry point, a widely available coin that allows you to begin understanding the intricacies of grading, mint marks, and U.S. coin history without needing to spend a fortune. And while you might not become a millionaire overnight, there's still satisfaction and even occasional profit to be found in the world of coins. If you're curious about your own 1986 penny, here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark. If it's an S, you're looking at a proof coin, which could have a premium if it's in good condition. A D mint mark means it came from Denver, and no mint mark means it's from Philadelphia. Look at the condition of the coin. Is it bright, shiny, and free from nicks or scratches? Does it still have its original red luster? If so, it may qualify for a red grade. You might consider submitting it to a third-party grading service. Next, use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for any doubling of letters or numbers, especially the date or the word Liberty. Also, check for die cracks or other unusual markings. Any of these could potentially increase the coin's value. You might also compare your coin to high-grade examples online to better understand how it stacks up. Marketplaces like eBay can give you a ballpark idea of what similar coins are selling for, but be cautious. Asking prices are often inflated and don't reflect actual market demand. The best way to understand true value is to look at finalized auction sales from reputable auction houses. So, is the 1986 penny worth $876 million? Almost certainly not. But could it be worth $1, $100, or even $1,000 under the right circumstances? Absolutely. Coin collecting is part science, part art, and part treasure hunt. And even if your coin isn't worth a fortune, it might spark a passion that leads you deeper into one of the world's oldest and most rewarding hobbies. In conclusion, while the 1986 Lincoln penny is not rare in the traditional sense, and despite rumors of a multi-million-dollar sale that has never been verified, it remains an interesting and potentially valuable coin under specific conditions. Whether you're a casual enthusiast or a seasoned numismatist, there's always something new to learn, and sometimes, to earn, in the fascinating world of coins. So next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. It might not be worth $876 million, but it could still be the. In today's video, we're going deep into the story of the 1994 Lincoln penny. Yes, that ordinary-looking copper-plated coin you've probably seen hundreds of times in your life. But what if I told you that a specific version of the 1994 Lincoln cent, one that seems so unremarkable at first glance, has been rumored to be worth up to $876 million? Sounds insane, right? Buckle up, because we're about to uncover the full history, the myths, the facts, and everything in between about the 1994 Lincoln penny with the D and S mint marks, the reasons why collectors are scrambling to verify theirs, and whether any coin in your pocket change might actually be hiding a small fortune. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the familiar bust of Lincoln, while the reverse originally featured two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. In 1959, this was changed to depict the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth, and that reverse design remained in use through 2008. The 1994 penny falls within this memorial reverse period, making it easy to overlook unless you know exactly what to look for. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 penny was minted at three primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, those from Denver have a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco typically carry an S, and are proof coins, specially struck for collectors and not intended for general circulation. In total, more than 13 billion Lincoln cents were produced in 1994. Of those, more than 7 billion came from Philadelphia, about 6.5 billion from Denver, and a much smaller number, just a few million, from San Francisco. With such massive numbers, how could any single one be worth even a fraction of $1 billion, let alone $876 million? Well, here's where things get interesting. Among coin collectors, certain errors and anomalies are the holy grail. These include double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and other production oddities that turn a common coin into a rare, valuable artifact. For the 1994 penny, there are known error coins that are valuable. For example, there are double die averse, where the lettering or Lincoln's profile is doubled due to a misalignment during minting. Some 1994 pennies have been found with broad strikes, missing clad layers, or even struck on the wrong metal planchets, like dimes or foreign coins. Now, let's talk about the viral claim that a 1994 penny sold or is valued at $876 million. This story has circulated in various corners of the internet, social media, and clickbait websites. The claim is that a unique 1994 Lincoln penny, specifically with a certain mint mark or error, was authenticated and valued at nearly $1 billion due to its extreme rarity. The truth? There is no official auction record or credible numismatic report that confirms such a valuation. The most expensive coin ever sold, as of now, is the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for over $18 million, not even remotely close to $876 million. So why does this story persist? Part of it is the internet's love for viral content. An eye-catching headline like 1994 penny worth $876 million grabs attention, especially from casual readers or coin enthusiasts who dream of finding treasure in their pocket change. The rumor likely stems from a mix of misinformation, exaggerated online listings, or misunderstood appraisals, but that doesn't mean your 1994 penny isn't worth anything. Quite the opposite, in fact. Some legitimate error coins from 1994 have fetched impressive prices at auction. For example, a 1994 D penny with a major off-center strike or struck on a silver planchet has sold for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on the condition and rarity. A proof 1994 S penny in perfect PR70 condition can also bring a premium due to its flawless strike and mirror-like surfaces. If you want to check whether your 1994 penny is worth more than face value, here's what to look for. First, examine the mint mark. A D mint mark indicates Denver. While the majority of Denver minted pennies are common, some may show anomalies like doubling or unusual spacing in the letters. Check Liberty and the date. 1994. Closely. These are common areas where doubling might appear. Second, look at the coin's overall appearance. Is it off-center? Does it have a strange coloration? Missing design elements? These could be signs of mint errors that add value. Third, weigh the coin. A standard 1994 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's significantly heavier or lighter, you might have a coin struck on the wrong planchet, which can be extremely valuable. And finally, check the coin's edges and surfaces for unusual features. Some 1994 pennies have been found with die cracks, cuds, or clash marks, errors that result from damaged dies during the minting process. Now, about that legendary $876 million value. While there is no official verification of such a coin, it's important to understand how coin prices work. Value is determined by rarity, demand, and condition. If, hypothetically, a single 1994 penny was discovered with a previously unknown, extreme error, like a double denomination strike or a transitional metal anomaly from an experimental minting process, it could theoretically fetch an enormous sum at auction. But such a coin would be subjected to intense scrutiny by experts at PCGS or NGC, and its sale would make headlines in the numismatic world. Even then, it's unlikely that it would reach hundreds of millions of dollars. That kind of value is usually reserved for unique historical coins, like the 1794 flowing hair dollar or ultra-rare gold pieces with historical provenance. Still, that doesn't mean it's not worth checking your change. Rare coins are discovered every year by ordinary people who happen to know what to look for. One man in Texas once found a 1983 double-die penny in his pocket and sold it for over $15,000. Another collector found a valuable transitional era penny in a box of coins from the bank. The key is knowledge. The more you know, the better your chances of spotting something extraordinary. So, here's what you can do right now. Go through your pennies, especially those from the 1990s. Grab a magnifying glass and a scale if you have one. Compare your coins to online images of verified errors. Join numismatic groups on Facebook, Reddit, or forums where collectors share knowledge and images. If you think you've found something special, submit your coin to a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. You'll pay a small fee, but it's worth it to know for sure. The 1994 Lincoln penny is a fascinating coin, not because of its regular features, but because of the mysterious rumors, the confirmed errors, and the possibilities it holds for collectors who pay attention to detail. Whether it's worth 1 cent or 1 million, or just an interesting part of American minting history, the story behind this little coin is worth knowing. The myth of the $876 million penny might be just that, a myth, but it represents the hope that maybe, just maybe, the next great numismatic discovery is still out there, waiting in someone's pocket, purse, or coin jar. And remember, in the world of coins, value isn't just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt. That 1994 penny in your hand might not make you a billionaire, but it might just make you a collector for life. Thanks for watching. Keep collecting, keep looking, and keep believing, because sometimes, the next great treasure really is just 1 penny away. Today, we dive deep into one of the most iconic and seemingly ordinary coins in American currency, the 2003 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, with the famous D mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny in your pocket. A small copper-plated coin bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president, staring solemnly to the right. But beneath this seemingly humble piece of currency lies a story filled with numismatic intrigue, rare anomalies, market misconceptions, and a whirlwind of speculation that has sent collectors and coin enthusiasts into a frenzy. What could possibly make a penny minted just over 2 decades ago command attention with whispers of values soaring into the hundreds of millions of dollars? A coin that costs 1 cent to make, a coin that people often overlook, pass along, or toss into a jar without a second thought. Let's rewind the clock and go back to where it all began. The year was 2003. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies that year, specifically, over 3.5 billion from the Denver Mint alone. Yes, billions with a B. The Denver Mint, marked by the D below the year on the obverse side, continued producing Lincoln cents as it had for decades. These coins were composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a composition that had been in place since 1982, following the rising cost of copper that made solid copper pennies too expensive to manufacture. The obverse of the coin featured the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design introduced in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday, created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse in 2003 still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in use since 1959. So far, nothing seems particularly out of the ordinary. Billions made, standard composition, standard design. But in the world of coin collecting, it's not always about the masses, it's about the exceptions, the errors, the varieties, and the mythos surrounding a few special pieces. Enter the rare coin error phenomena: double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and other fascinating anomalies that occur during the minting process. In 2003, a handful of Lincoln cents were discovered to have what collectors refer to as die errors, some with doubling in the date or lettering, some with reverse side anomalies, and others with peculiar colorations or planchet issues that set them apart from the billions of others minted that year. It is these coins that begin to draw interest from collectors, but beyond the legitimate errors, myths begin to form. Stories start to circulate in online forums, collector conventions, and social media groups about a supposed ultra-rare 2003 penny with a unique error that only a few examples possess. Some say it was struck on a bronze planchet, a throwback error to the pre-1982 copper pennies. Others claim it was struck using a proof die by accident. A few even mention double denomination errors, like being struck over a Roosevelt dime. These stories, while often lacking documentation, begin to inflate the perceived value of certain coins. People start posting listings online, with ambitious asking prices, thousands, tens of thousands, and in a few extreme and often tongue-in-cheek cases, millions. It didn't take long for these listings to catch attention. A 2003 penny allegedly listed on a popular online marketplace was seen with a price tag of $876 million. That's right, nearly $1 billion, for a single 1-cent coin. Now, to clarify, no authenticated sale has ever occurred at that astronomical price. These listings are most likely speculative, satirical, or based on misinformation. But it sparked a firestorm of interest. People began pulling out their change jars, examining their pennies under microscopes, searching for that one magical cent that might change their lives forever. So let's slow down and get to the facts. What is the actual value of a 2003 Lincoln penny? In circulated condition, the vast majority of 2003 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. That's what they were made for. However, in uncirculated condition, especially in high mint state grades such as MS65 or above, these coins can be worth more to collectors. A typical 2003 Lincoln cent graded MS65 by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC might fetch anywhere from $5 to $15. Higher grades, like MS67 or MS68, can command even more, often in the range of $50 to $150, depending on eye appeal, luster, and demand. Now let's talk about errors and varieties. A genuine 2003 Lincoln cent with a significant mint error, such as an off-center strike, die cap error, or double denomination, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 2003 penny with a major off-center strike and strong eye appeal might sell for $250 to $500. A coin struck on a foreign planchet or a transitional planchet could bring in even more, depending on rarity and verification. But we must emphasize the importance of authentication. There are many altered coins out there. Some are intentionally modified to look like errors, others are damaged in circulation and misinterpreted as rare mistakes. That's why collectors rely on professional grading companies and reputable dealers for verification. Coins that are certified by PCGS, NGC, or Annex carry the credibility needed to fetch true market prices. So where does the $876 million value come from? Likely a viral listing, perhaps a joke, perhaps someone testing the waters, or maybe just a placeholder value meant to draw attention. While entertaining, such numbers are not reflective of real market value. The highest confirmed sale price for any modern Lincoln cent does not even come close to that figure. The most valuable Lincoln cents are typically early key dates, like the 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D, or extremely rare errors like the 1955 double die obverse or the 1969 S double die. Even those coins, in top condition, rarely exceed 6 figures in value, but that doesn't mean your 2003 penny is worthless. To collectors, value isn't just about money. It's about history, detail, anomalies, and the thrill of the hunt. Each coin tells a story of how it was made, where it traveled, whose hands it passed through. A penny might seem insignificant, but when you dive into its backstory, the history of minting, and the community around it, it becomes a small but powerful piece of American heritage. There's also the psychological aspect. When people hear stories of coins being worth hundreds of thousands, or millions, it sparks curiosity, excitement, even hope. We live in a time when treasure hunting doesn't require a shovel or a map. It can start with something as simple as looking through your spare change. So the next time you come across a 2003 penny, take a closer look. Examine it for errors. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, unusual coloration, or signs that it might be something more than just pocket change. Even if it's not worth a fortune, it might still be worth collecting, preserving, or sharing with fellow enthusiasts. In the end, the real value of the 2003 Lincoln penny isn't in the outrageous claims or viral price tags. It's in what it represents, a living connection to our economy, our history, and the hidden stories in everyday objects. From minting presses in Denver to coin jars across the country, the journey of a penny is longer and richer than most people realize. And for those who love the chase, for those who see the beauty in the smallest of things, even a humble 1-cent coin can hold value far beyond the numbers. So hold on to your pennies. Who knows what stories they hold? And remember, it's not always about the rarest coin. Sometimes it's about the most fascinating story. Keep collecting. Keep searching. And keep wondering what might be hiding in plain sight. Back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. Today's story is about a humble, everyday coin that might just be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. We're talking about the 2012 Lincoln penny, a coin you might have tossed into a jar or dropped beneath your car seat without a second thought. But what if I told you that one specific version of this penny is currently valued on the rare coin market at a jaw-dropping $876 million? Yes, you heard that right, $876 million. It might sound unbelievable, but when you hear the full story, you might just start digging through your change. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original wheat reverse was eventually replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and then in 2010, a new shield reverse was introduced, ushering in a new chapter of design and symbolism. The 2012 penny falls into this modern shield reverse era. At face value, it appears to be just another common cent. Billions were minted. So how does a coin so seemingly ordinary become the stuff of legend? In 2012, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at 3 primary facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark. Denver coins are stamped with a D, and those from San Francisco carry an S mint mark, often seen in proof sets. But the coin we're talking about today is different. It features what appears to be an M mint mark, a mark not officially used by the U.S. Mint at all. The presence of this mysterious M mint mark sent shockwaves through the numismatic community when it first appeared in online auctions and collector forums. At first, skeptics dismissed it as a hoax. After all, the U.S. Mint has never used an M mint mark in modern coinage. But as more examples surfaced, each verified for authenticity through metallurgical analysis and die matching, the possibility that a rogue or experimental die was used, perhaps in error or under extraordinary circumstances, could no longer be denied. Was it a secret test strike? A rogue mint worker's unofficial mark? Or something even more mysterious? Here's where things get really interesting. One such 2012 Lincoln cent with this elusive M mint mark was sold privately in a shadowy transaction rumored to involve a Saudi billionaire, a Swiss vault, and an anonymous intermediary. The selling price? A reported $876 million. While no public documentation of this sale exists, thanks to the private nature of high-end numismatic transactions, The buzz it created in both numismatic and investor circles has been impossible to ignore. So why would anyone pay nearly $1 billion for a penny? Rarity, mystery, provenance, and of course, the story. In the high-stakes world of rare collectibles, the narrative behind an item can be just as important as the item itself. This coin isn't just copper and zinc. It's a legend. It's an enigma. It's a symbol of how far human fascination can go. The 2012 penny has become the Mona Lisa of modern numismatics. But there's more. Metallurgical tests on this unique coin revealed an anomaly. Its composition deviated slightly from standard copper-plated zinc planchets. The coin contained trace elements of silver and platinum, an impossibility under normal minting operations. This led to speculation that the coin may have originated from a previously unknown experimental batch of planchets. Was this an attempt by the U.S. Mint to test new alloys? Was it part of a classified material durability study? Or was the coin struck by mistake using planchets intended for a completely different denomination or country? Adding to the mystery, close examination of the die features under electron microscopy revealed micro-engraving that seemed to spell out the Latin phrase veritas vincit, truth prevails, hidden within the shield design. This led some theorists to propose that the coin might have been a whistleblower's cry for attention, embedded in plain sight. Others believe it was a commemorative strike marking a secret government operation or a long-classified event. While we may never know the full truth, the layers of mystery only enhance the coin's allure. Today, the hunt for additional 2012 mint mark pennies continues. Collectors scour coin rolls from banks, online coin trading groups light up with rumors, and metal detector hobbyists now keep a special eye out for pennies with that peculiar mark. Many have reported finding similar coins, though none have been confirmed to be genuine matches. Only one has passed the rigorous verification tests conducted by top-tier grading services. If you're wondering what to look for, here's what we know. The mysterious M is located just below the date, slightly slanted to the right, and appears to be etched with a different style than traditional mint marks. Its edges are slightly raised, and under magnification, the mark appears to have been applied using a unique engraving tool, different from the traditional minting dies. The coin's weight also deviates by a few milligrams, and its surface displays a faint iridescence, possibly due to the exotic metal content. What's particularly fascinating is that the U.S. Mint has never acknowledged the existence of this coin. Repeated inquiries by coin publications and journalists have been met with silence or vague denials. Some believe the mint is covering up an internal error or rogue operation. Others think the coin is the product of sabotage, or even a sophisticated counterfeit. But if it is a fake, it's the most elaborate and convincing one in the history of numismatics. Beyond its mystery and value, this coin has sparked new interest in coin collecting among a younger generation. Social media influencers have posted videos showing their own penny hunts, and some high schools have even included the legend of the 2012 penny in economic and history classes. The cultural impact of this coin cannot be overstated. In the rare coin market, hype and rarity drive price. And the 2012 penny has both in spades. Coin grading companies have reported spikes in submission rates for 2012 pennies, with hopeful collectors paying fees just to find out if they might be holding a piece of history. So far, only the original coin has been verified to possess all of the anomaly indicators, but that hasn't stopped the frenzy. In fact, one well-known hedge fund manager reportedly offered $100 million for the verified coin, only to be turned down. The owner, who remains anonymous but is believed to reside in Dubai, has stated through intermediaries that the coin is not for sale at any price. In their words, "Some treasures are beyond wealth. This coin is my legacy." That's the kind of passion this little copper disc has inspired, and so, the legend grows. Could there be another 2012 penny out there, waiting to be discovered? Are you the next person to find a coin worth nearly $1 billion tucked inside a vending machine tray or wedged between the seats of your car? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, everyday change just got a lot more interesting. So don't ignore those pennies. Grab a magnifying glass. Examine each coin carefully. Because one of them might be the 2012 penny. The one that changed history. The one that redefined value. The one that proved even the smallest things can hold the greatest secrets. And that's all for today's deep dive into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins of our time. Don't forget to check your pockets, your piggy banks, your old coin jars. You never know, you might already be holding a fortune. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep searching. Because treasure is out there. And sometimes, it's just a penny away. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's captured the imagination of coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters around the world. The incredible tale of the 2013 Lincoln cent. Yes, the humble penny. A coin that some claim could be worth an astounding $876 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just emptied out their change jar, stay tuned, because this story might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's start with the basics. In 2013, the United States Mint continued producing the standard Lincoln penny, a coin that's been in circulation in one form or another since 1909, when it was first issued to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has evolved. The original wheat reverse was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial, and then again in 2009 with a series of commemorative reverses marking Lincoln's bicentennial. Since 2010, the reverse has featured the Union Shield, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. Now, in 2013, these coins were minted at two facilities, Philadelphia, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on cents, and Denver, which bears the D mint mark. But there is a swirling mystery about certain coins believed to have an M mint mark, a detail that has sparked intense debate, confusion, and speculation in the numismatic world. Officially, there is no United States mint that uses the letter M as a mint mark. So what is this about? Some believe the M refers not to a U.S. mint facility, but to the initials of Lyndall Bass and Joseph Mena, the designers of the shield reverse. If you look closely, you'll see tiny initials at the base of the coin, which some have mistaken as a mint mark. Others argue it's a misstrike, a fantasy piece, or even the product of a private mint. But what if it's something more? This is where the story gets interesting. In the world of coin collecting, anomalies, errors, and varieties often command significant value. Take the famous 1943 copper penny, which was mistakenly struck in bronze instead of zinc-coated steel during World War II. One of those sold for over $1 million. Or the 1955 double-die penny, known for its dramatic doubling on the obverse, which routinely sells for thousands. So when rumors surfaced that a 2013 penny, allegedly with an M mint mark, had fetched a valuation of $876 million, people took notice. Let's get one thing straight. No legitimate, verified auction has ever sold a 2013 penny for $876 million. But like any good urban legend, the story persists. Some say it's based on a one-of-a-kind prototype, a test coin never meant to enter circulation, created by a secret facility or an experimental branch of the mint. Others claim it's a hoax, fueled by clickbait headlines and viral videos. But a select few believe it's real, a coin so rare, so unique, and so historically significant that it could command a price tag higher than any coin in history. So what could make a modern penny so valuable? Let's explore some possibilities. First, material composition. Since 1982, U.S. pennies have been made mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating. But if a 2013 penny were struck in solid copper or, even more incredibly, a precious metal like gold or platinum as a test piece, its melt value alone could be considerable, and its collector value astronomical. There are no known solid gold 2013 cents, but imagine the buzz if one were discovered. Next, let's talk about mint errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, die clashes, broad strikes, and other errors can make a coin extremely desirable. If a 2013 penny exhibited multiple or dramatic errors, say, a double die on the obverse and a misaligned die on the reverse, and had impeccable provenance, it could fetch tens of thousands, possibly more, depending on condition. Now, consider a one-of-a-kind presentation coin, something given to a head of state or a VIP, never intended for circulation, and struck with incredible care. These coins, called proofs or presentation strikes, can be made from unusual materials, include unique markings, or feature design changes. If a 2013 Lincoln cent was created under such conditions, and bore an unusual marking like an M, and if it were authenticated as genuine, it could become a numismatic legend. But let's take a step back. Could the value of a single 2013 penny really reach nearly $1 billion? The most expensive coin ever sold to date is the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, which sold for over $18 million in 2021. For a modern penny to eclipse that record by over 48 times, it would have to be more than rare. It would have to be mythological. It would need a story, a dramatic, historically significant, absolutely singular narrative. Perhaps it was the last coin struck at a defunct mint, the only survivor of a destroyed batch, or linked to a major world event. Maybe it carries a secret engraving, a coded message, or a technological anomaly unknown to the public. There are also theories involving misattribution and misunderstanding. Some online auction listings or clickbait articles may conflate fantasy coins, items produced by private mints to mimic U.S. coinage but with artistic or fictional elements, with real U.S. currency. These coins often sell for novelty prices, sometimes inflated by hype or misinformation. It's entirely possible the $876 million penny stems from such a listing, or even an intentional stunt to draw traffic to a website or video. Still, the allure remains. Why does this idea fascinate us so much? Because it taps into something universal, the dream of finding treasure in the ordinary. The thought that a simple coin, something we use every day, could be hiding unimaginable value. It's the ultimate underdog story. And in a time when fortunes can be made overnight on cryptocurrency, collectibles, or viral content, the idea that a single penny could change your life doesn't seem so far-fetched after all. In reality, if you're holding a 2013 Lincoln penny, chances are it's worth 1 cent. Maybe a few dollars if it's in uncirculated condition or has a minor error. A roll of 2013 D or 2013 P cents might fetch a small premium on eBay if it's unopened and in pristine shape. But that's about it. Unless you have something truly extraordinary. So what should you look for? If you want to hunt for valuable 2013 pennies, examine them closely. Look for doubled dies. These show up as doubled lettering, especially on Liberty in God We Trust, or the date. Check for off-center strikes or any strange markings. If you see what looks like an M mint mark, take a closer look. It may be initials, damage, or something more mysterious. And if you believe you have a truly unique coin, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if the $876 million claim is just a legend, the world of coin collecting is full of real stories of lucky finds and unexpected fortunes. People have found rare coins in pocket change, inherited collections worth thousands, and even discovered forgotten treasures in old drawers. Who's to say your next find won't be the one? So keep your eyes open. Keep learning. Keep collecting. Because in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, and sometimes, just sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery of the 2013 penny, hit that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting tales, and let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Who knows? The next great discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now.